Hey, welcome back. It's Women Wednesday, and I'm just checking the markets. We're downtown in the Question Tequila Studios, and we're on Broadway, and you're watching Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John TABACCO. We're having a whopper of a day today so far. We had talked to Tosh, and Natasha she said my energy was so good that she wanted to stay around, and I think she's going to fill in for you, Frankie, an hour or two, and we're going to let our energies collide, and she's going to give me some her thoughts on what she sees in the future on some of these crazy things going on with our president.
Well, I will tell you, John, somebody who is in need of a reading these days is Nancy Pelosi, who, as our top story will indicate, is really, really wondering if this impeachment strategy is going to turn out to be a good one. If you haven't been following the story, lucky you, because I'm bored to tears by it. But Nancy Pelosi wants to begin an impeachment inquiry for this misuse or purported misuse of the president's office in his dealings with the new president of Ukraine. Just a little bit of the speaker yesterday.
This is a violation of law. Shortly thereafter, press reports began to break of a phone call by the President of the United States calling upon a foreign power to intervene in his election. This is a breach of his constitutional responsibilities.
Okay.
I do.
You might note that I'm going to pour a drink now because I want to join Nancy Pelosi in whatever she was on.
Oh,
was that the drunk tape that they had out there on the web?
No. That
was that serious? How many Panzoni vodkas did she have to get talked into starting an impeachment inquiry?
Look, the bottom line
Lenny
is,
probably sent the 2 cases of Question, and Schiff sent them over, you know?
from what we're hearing, Nancy Pelosi didn't want to go this route because she thought, not because she loves Donald Trump, but because she thought it was poor politics. But ultimately, when you lead a legislative conference, if the majority of your conference wants to go one way, you're going to go that way. Otherwise, they'll be calling you ex-Speaker Pelosi. You know, she has a constituency as well, just as every legislative leader does, just as Mitch McConnell does. But I do have to tell you, John, I'm not sure if it's the best strategy for Rudy Giuliani to continue doing TV interviews. This was the mayor, the former mayor of New York City, wonderful mayor, the guy that helped turn the city around, on with Laura Ingraham on some other network yesterday, discussing this whole Ukraine situation, Whistlegate. And the mayor seems to not necessarily handle this with the deft hand and diplomatic style that we'd expect of a guy that's handling negotiations.
Handling like he had 3 Manhattans at the Havana room, if you ask me.
Well, let's let the audience be the judge.
At the Grand Havana
He was
Club.
Mayor Giuliani on some other
network. He's the
network.
best, but you're right, he shouldn't be.
I'd like to say, Mr. Hahn, I should sue you for libel because you irresponsibly say...
Oh, please.
Yeah, well, you actually usually say incredibly stupid things.
You're a public figure.
Yeah, and by the way, do you have any idea that the State Department...
So then you know the libel law.
hold on.
Shut up,
Rudy.
moron. Shut up.
Okay, hold on.
Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
All right, you know what? Once you have
You know what? I take that back. You know what? Rudy should be going after this guy. And you know what? He was a famous prosecutor. He was a mayor. He's been rooting out evil and crime. He turned around New York City. And when some pencil neck is telling him something he has no idea what he's talking about, he should tell him, shut up.
No,
that's a little freshness in the Trump, if you ask me. I don't love everything, but you know what? Once in a while, shut up.
I think if you're the former mayor
I'm not
of New
saying
York
that
City,
to you. I say that to you
understand.
enough. But
if you're the former mayor of New York City and the former U.S. attorney for the Southern District and the guy that ran for president and the guy that's the president's personal attorney, you shouldn't put yourself in a situation where you're on a panel with 4 people. He should only be doing one-on-one interviews, although his interview with Chris Cuomo didn't come off so well either. But so to get into a shouting match with a guy that no one knows, Chris Hahn, who's basically a fill-in talk radio host and a liberal pundit, it's so beneath the character, the dignity, and the reverence of the offices that he's held. He shouldn't be doing that.
And last night, Chris Hahn was like high-fiving all his live friends.
No,
I got that Rudy, didn't I? Why don't you have a little respect? We've been on TV, radio for 15 years. There's a point you can go to with certain people of respect, and then when you go over it, then you're just a hound.
No, but what did Rudy do? He made Chris Hahn a celebrity today. Nobody knew who Chris Hahn is. Now everybody all over the world is sharing viral video clips of Rudy telling him to shut up. The other thing is, look, if we're going to talk about elevating the
What
dialogue,
radio station is Chris Hahn on?
I don't know. He fills in at WABC occasionally.
In New York?
Yeah.
Nationally syndicated?
No.
Just a local fill-in jock?
I don't know. He might be on some other station
right.
as well. I think he's a writer. But if you're going to go on into a debate, and your idea of winning an argument is to say "shut up" 4 times and call your adversary a moron, you've already lost the argument.
Okay. I think you're right. If I say the wrong Greek philosopher, you're going to write it down and say I'm in a mistake. But some Greek philosopher said, you know, when there's no reason left to their argument, they make it personal. You know what I mean? So maybe Rudy just says shut up to like attack the guy personally. Like, I'm better than you, so I can tell you to shut up. I don't know. You're right. You're right. That's what you get on Liquid Lunch. That's why I say all the time our audience is the purple people, because we talk to Democrats, Republicans, and the real people, the normal ones, are the ones right in the middle with some reds and some blues. Purple.